It would be true, but it's not true, you know. But I'm gonna hear what the recording sounds like with the lapel mic. Lapel microphone. And this is like my third video on the 1929 Ford. And today I'm inspired to do it because, well, I have a lot of hobbies, just like my channel. Too many hobbies and not enough time. It would be great to make time to make this work, but I really don't have time. Well, let's take a look at the engine. This engine is a 4-cylinder engine. It's weird. I thought, honestly, for some reason, at one point, I thought 4-cylinder engines was new for modern cars, but it's not. This is a 1929 Ford. This is the original engine. This is a half of a V8, because the other cool engines to get for this car is the flathead V8 engine. And well, this one is just a 4-cylinder. My dad spent a lot of hours trying to make this run and it never did. The engine possibly could be just frozen. So it needs to be taken out, taken apart, relubed, rebuilt, put back, and it'll probably run. And I'm not gonna lie, I've seen videos of this engine running. Here, come take a look, get some better pictures of it. But I've seen videos of this engine running on the internet, and it is kind of cool. It sounds really cool and all that, but you know, it's just not really appealing to me because I do like more of a hot rod. And this car my dad bought with this paint job on it. Come check out this paint job. I mean, the paint is really neat. Someone knew what they were doing. This scratch is new, I think. But someone knew about this painting, which is really nice. And it would be cool to make this into a hot rod. I mean, it's already almost ready to be a hot rod, but that's why I'm putting it on the internet. I'm putting it out there right now. The description is going to have my information in it. If you want to purchase this, or if you're really ambitious, maybe we could negotiate a deal, and then maybe together we could get this running. If you're possibly, if you're watching this and you have like a car rebuild show, it'd be kind of neat to maybe feature this in yeah, it would be kind of fun to feature this, how we can make this run and add all the right high performance stuff. Okay, well, let's take a look inside this car. I like how these doors are. It's pretty neat. These open like one is a suicide door. They call it a suicide door. The origin of the name suicide is like if you need to jump out of this car for any reason, you're gonna die because this door is gonna catch you and probably cut you in half. That's what the origin of suicide door is. And then this is a regular door right here, and this is how the inside works. And what's interesting about this car, the pedals aren't what you think. There's a gas pedal, and one of these pedals is to not like a clutch, like shifting. You know, it's weird. If you watch other videos about this car, you'll see that this the way that this turns on is really different than what I'm used to, because we're used to getting into a car and just like pressing pedals and turning it on and all that stuff, and that's what happens. So you could go ahead and just stay there for a minute. I'm going to come in from the other side and talk for a second. So if you look in the back seat, these are the original seats in the back of the car. I had one friend of mine that was very interested in buying this car, and I told him, you know what? For the price, you could probably buy one that's already running and ready to go. But since then, I've seen cars that are in about the same condition going for the price that I'm asking for, because I'm trying to be reasonable and trying to get all the get all the prices that are going to be, you know, negotiable kind of, but like the facts are is that this needs some work. These seats that are in here now, check out these seats. These seats, I heard these seats are from like a Mazda. These are not the original seats for this car at all. They're not. And these need to be taken out, probably swapped out with the regular seats before I sell it. Or if you just want it as is, you could probably take these seats and sell them to someone that has the car that these work on, which these seats are, they might even fit in the Jetta actually, but they're not that attractive to me. But so under here is the compartment where the battery is, and I can't lift it up. Hold on. Well, I'm not gonna try to lift it up. But anyways, the battery's under here, and the battery's a 6-volt battery. And I think this is the choke for the I think this is what operates the car to turn on. I think this is the brake. This is the stick, which is cool. I like how the stick shift works if we can make it into a regular car. But I do believe that there is a brake pedal, and that is not a clutch. You may think it's a clutch, but it's not. I think the clutch is here. Or maybe this is actually, go, oh wait. Tell me what moves inside when I move this.
Oh,
What's moving?
come here.
Well, just describe it to me, man.
I can't describe it.
Okay, fine.
That way. Describe it.
Fine. Let's see. Okay, here. Let me record it. Go ahead and move that around for me. Move that around for me and let me.
The thing right next to the pedal, correct?
Oh, it's not even attached.
Yes. This two portion.
Okay, so that is okay. You turning it? Yeah. So I think this attaches to here. Yeah. Pull it. Oh shoot. Yeah. Nothing. It's just I think this attaches to the carburetor, and that's the carburetor. There's a technical name for that carburetor. It's like a downpipe carburetor or something like that. So as you can see, this engine's really old-fashioned. So let's lift this side of the engine up, and you'll see there's a starter. And that starter is completely aftermarket, because this, back in the day, the only way to start this engine was to stick the starter in here, and you crank it to start it. But if that crank is still attached when the engine is running, it whips and will hurt you. So since then, they probably made all the engines with starters. So, but that's a totally aftermarket setup, because I do believe that these had a crank to start the engine back in the day. So you can see that there's a lot of work to be done. And if I had the time, I would take this engine completely out and put a V8 engine in here. A V8 engine probably would work, but you're probably going to have to do some modifications. I was looking at a frame for a 1951 Mercury, but it looked like the 1951 Mercury was wider. But now that I look at this, it might have worked, but maybe not, because that's one thing that people do when they get old cars like this. They get they make a whole new frame. Like if you know someone that knows how to weld together frames and pieces of metal, you could get a whole new frame for under here, because if you add a V8 engine to this, you're going to need to have more strength in the frame for it to handle the extra weight and the extra torque. Because if you have like if you take a engine out of like maybe a 1969, 1970 Mustang when it's regular carburetor, because the Mustangs didn't introduce fuel injection until I think the mid 80s. I could be wrong. Maybe it was late 70s. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Mid 70s, they introduced fuel injection in cars. But up to that point, there was just carburetors. And I think carburetor is kind of a cool feature, because if I had anything to do with this car, I would totally base this car off of like a 1960s hot rod. But I'm gonna hear what the recording sounds like with the